Hello, hello, this is Fear Dragon coming at you with another StarCraft 2 netcast. And once again, we go into game number 3 of LiquidSea versus LiquidRet. And I'm joined here with...
Alex Miller, Mirazer from Purdue StarCraft Club.
Yes, indeed, and he's the master level Zerg player who's going to provide some awesome insight on this last rubber match ace game of LiquidSea and LiquidRet. And of course, after saying that, if you haven't seen game number 1 or game number 2, there have been a couple of spoilers just given in the first like 30 seconds, but please go ahead and click on the annotations below and it'll take you to those. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump in and introduce these players. Spawning up here in the top right-hand corner of Cloud Kingdom, we have the red Zerg player once again on Cloud Kingdom. He is the king of drones. His name is LiquidRet. And
in
down there in the bottom
left.
Go ahead.
In the bottom left, we have the Blue Terran, Team Liquid's very own C, their Kespa Pro. And he's looking very ferocious, don't you agree, Ravi?
Oh my god, he has been looking so scary. I mean, there's been a lot of that talk about the elephant in the room of the Kespa players, and, you know, slowly but surely, those Kespa players are just rocketing forward in terms of their skill level. They're getting so good so fast, and I am really excited to see what exactly C is going to be doing in game number 3, as you said, actually in game number 2, could be seeing some really cool stuff out of him just because we saw he went for that slightly different build order in game number 2 versus game number 1, going for the earlier bio play, and in game number 1 going for the earlier Banshee play. So really curious to see what he's going to be up to.
Yeah, I definitely like that. Now here's one of the things we already noticed that C's doing differently this game. The last 2 games, his barracks and supply depot have been at the wall. Now it looks like he's going for another CC first, but something might be changing. CC after barracks, I mean. But something might be a little different here, like, because he's obviously opted not to wall, and he'll be changing something up. I'm not sure what though just yet. It'll be hard to tell until he starts taking gases and putting down more stuff. But as we see, Ret, you know, Ret's being the same.
Ret, identical. Same old. I guess that actually
same old Ret.
That might just be a result of the fact that Red has been playing this game for so long. He's fine-tuned everything, especially, I can assure you, his early game, he's probably not even really thinking about everything he's doing. Everything is just kind of on autopilot mode, and, you know, if he sees something kind of weird coming out of his opponent, he might start to have it think, but, I mean, he's done this build so many times that he's probably just comfortable doing it and saying, you know, I don't have to change up anything between these games. I feel comfortable with the build that I have just spent so much time in ironing out the details for that I don't have to try and surprise my opponent. But I mean, we do see that
his queen build is very strong.
Oh yeah, and you know, we see the 2 gas guys going down for C, and I'm really curious to see if he's gonna go ahead and open up with that fast 3rd command center again. That's gonna be the big thing on my mind.
I feel like this game he's not. The last couple games he's put it down before the barracks. I mean the factory. I think he's gonna try to get a little more aggressive this game. I could be wrong because he still has the option. But see, we already see the reactor going down, and you know I don't think he's gonna get a factory until a command center until after it's done. But I think he might actually get one as well.
Yeah, and I mean, what exactly will that probably mean for C's build? Does that mean he's going to be able to probably get up that starport a little bit earlier because he's not going for that command center quite as early? Or do you think he's going to be able to get his gas guys earlier? I mean, what are the potential possibilities for a Terran player that delays an early 3rd command center?
By delaying the command center, he gets out units a lot faster. Like, yeah, he's actually going to skip the 3rd command center for a while, as we see now. He's going to get a lot faster Hellion play. The Hellions will hit a lot sooner, which Ret might not be ready for this game. You know, Ret has been getting pretty comfortable on his build, I'm sure. You know, he's getting used to when C's Hellions come. He's getting used to when C's Banshees come. And now they'll be there loads faster. I mean, the first 2 Hellions are about to pop. Banshees are on the way as soon as this starport finishes, and he's probably going to go for Cloak this game. By switching it up and not always getting Cloak, you know, the second game, Ret had to worry about Cloak. Even if he didn't see it, he was concerned about it. And this game, it's the same way. Will he get Cloak, will he not? Either way, C's done both, and Ret has to be concerned with either option.
Yeah, and does actually Rhett know about this at all? We can see that he really just doesn't have a great amount of vision. Only just now the Hellions coming in to range of that Xel'Naga Tower, so he should have an idea about it. And actually we see 10 Zerglings on their way, but it's going to be very, very difficult for it to continue to get that creep spread out with these two Hellions over there at that Xel'Naga Tower, being able to shut it down.
Yeah, these Hellions are going to control the map for a while. Speed won't be done for another 90 seconds. And look, already a couple drone kills here. And this is what's going to be the story of this game. These Lings are destined to die if he needs to be careful with these Lings. These slow Lings can't stop these Hellions. And another drone goes down. That's already 3.
Oh god, yeah, it's going to be so painful for Rhett, as I mean, this has just got to be frustrating. He's just not able to mine over there, and the Queens are going to start to come in. They're going to deal a little bit of damage to those Hellions and force them on their retreat, but the Hellions are just potentially just going to be able to walk over to the natural expansion and do the exact same thing.
Yeah, this is really smart. The really fast Hellions this game have really thrown Rhett on for a loop. He did not expect these this early, and it's showing. The Banshee's here now, and Hellion Banshee is very strong. All the Lings get cleaned up by that shot, and now what does he do? The Banshees and Hellions are going to clean all of this up. Yeah, really good control by... And there's the Cloak.
Yeah, Cloak is just going down right now, and now we do end up seeing that the Spore Crawler is going to be very, very useful for actually killing off that Banshee, but the Queen is going to go down first, and despite how many Zerglings that, you know, Rhett keeps rallying over, C is just able to do so much damage to actual Rhett's economy. And you have to keep in mind, it's not just how many drones are killed, despite the fact that we actually have, you know, 4 drone kills. It's also the fact that all those Zerglings are being produced instead of drones, and that is really what's going to be hurting for Rhett.
Yeah, as we can see already, you know, his lair is just starting at 9:30. His lair was done at 10 minutes last game. He's already delayed the lair quite a bit. He's got a couple more drones with his Banshee. And he's already got his third up. His tech's faster. His third's done. He's really taking control of this game. You know, like I said at the start, we would see C try to put some pressure on Rhett, and Rhett was not ready for it. He took the bait. He thought it was the same build, and now he's paying for it. He's behind on tech. His lair's late. You know, it's looking tough for Rhett right now.
And even his creep spread is not quite as amazing as, you know, we saw in the last game or even the first game. So, I mean, Rhett's going to be looking to do something differently in this game. He has to make something happen. He can't just sit back idly and try and remax his army and hope that, you know, he just won't die to some kind of big push that C could end up doing, or even just hope that he will just end up ahead macro-wise. He has to either take some kind of risk, either with an army advantage or with an economic advantage, and just go for maybe something that's not quite as safe.
Yeah, Rhett's going for Infestors, which I think is a smart play. He went for Mutas the game he won, but unfortunately the Mutas, he can't afford them. If he went for Mutas right now, I think he'd be too far behind to begin with. And actually the game he lost was where he got the Mutas, and that's why he shouldn't come here. Mutas are just... Oh my god.
Oh god, we're about to see a huge surround coming out from the Zerglings as they start chasing down those Hellions, and the Hellions, oh my god, look at those shots off from the Hellions, roasting Zerglings in a line, as that is why you do not engage Hellions at a choke point. And Rhett even throwing out the LOL, what the WTF.
Yeah, that's a painful thing to be as a Zerg. You know, you got your Lings on the field, and you expect to kill those Hellions, and then all of a sudden, you lose 50 Lings. Like, we can already see the power that C has done. C's put 2,475 damage of units lost on Rhett's board, only to the 750 he's lost. He's already gotten ahead with just his build by changing it up slightly. Rhett would have been ready for the standard timing that C had shown all game, but by varying it, by slowing down his third, he's managed to put a ton of damage onto Rhett. He's delayed his Infestors. Infestors are just popping, his Hive's going down, but C's already at 140 supply. C's ahead in supply, just to demonstrate the power that he's shown by just varying your build slightly.
Yeah, I know, it's just been so absolutely powerful in this game, and again, Rhett has to make something happen with these Infestors that are going to be popping out, as, you know, they will have enough energy, I think, with Pathogen Glands finished up, correct? Yeah, Pathogen Glands has finished up, so they'll have enough energy to actually throw out a couple of fungal growths which will be quite effective against the Bioforce of C. But I mean, the Medivacs are popping out. We have Siege Tanks with Siege Mode already completed, and you know, just more popping out. And the longer that this goes on, the more difficult it's going to be for Rhett to actually make something happen.
Yeah, and we see Rhett doing something similar to the second game, where he's pushing the creep across the top. This is very smart, because what he found out in the first game was that C wants to take his 4th base as a staging point to push on the Zerg. Now what Rhett's doing, he's making that a bad idea. By putting this creep here, if C can't clean up the creep, and see, we see it again, he's cleaning up this small army, and C can't push out. He can't use this as a staging area because the creep spread is ridiculously strong for Zerg. It allows your Lings and Banelings to close the distance almost exponentially faster, and when the longer time the Zerg army spends on your units, the more likely it is that you will lose the fight. Zerg units are all short range, so obviously the speed benefits them a lot.
Yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense. He saw how effective it was in game number 2. But oh my god, look at this. LiquidRet going straight over to the 3rd again. Just going to go ahead and go for a counterattack, but no, sees that there is a single Siege Tank sieged up there. And retreating with all of his Zerglings. Looks like he just wants to go back and try and defend his 4th expansion, I guess. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that movement?
It would have been good if you could have done some damage, but unfortunately the wall was up and the bunker was up. And there's a drop at the natural Tate going for the infested... for the Ultras, Kevin, but it stopped. And all the while Rhett's doing all these counterattacks, keeping movement on the ramp, he lost all the creep spread he's built up this game. Now, it will take a time for the creep spread to go back, but I think he's taken away all the work he's done, and he's put himself into a worse position because of it. If he had held that creep at the top area, which he's doing now, very smart using the Queen to rebuild it, he needs that creep spread. I can't emphasize that enough.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually just going to be the thing that delays LiquidSea from being able to take that 4th expansion, as we saw in the last game. And, you know, the Siege Tanks are sieged up in such a good position at the bottom of the ramp by that Zelnaga tower. They're going to have such good vision, but look at all those Zerglings coming in, catching all those Siege Tanks unsieged, and that might be exactly what LiquidRet needs. We see the fungal growths going down on the Medivacs, the Zerglings, the Banelings, cleaning up so much of that army, but reinforcing units from LiquidSea coming in and able to clean up all those Zerglings. And oh my god, Rhett down 30 supply now.
Yeah, Rhett's in a lot of trouble here. Although he did kill all the Medivacs, which is really good, as we can see, this Bioforce can't even stim, it's so low on health. But C has 4 bases now, so he's got quite a huge economy, and he'll be able to rebuild it with already the counter towards Ultras being built, because he scouted the Ultras, Kevin, or the Marauders are entering the army, and Rhett needs to make something happen here. C's in a commanding lead economically, and if he doesn't apply some pressure or get ahead, he will be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and you know, just looking really quickly at something that Rhett does have is that he does have that upgrade advantage. We can see that +3/+3 about to finish off in about another 20 or so seconds, and already sitting on +2/+2 in comparison. LiquidSea only sitting on +2/+1 with +2 weapons about to finish up. And, I mean, that's one thing that Rhett does have going for him. And if he can maybe somehow get some amazing flanking position once again in this game, he might be able to do something, but it's going to be so difficult just because of, I mean, how great a position that C is securing right there at that Zelnaga tower.
Yeah, C's in a very strong position. He's got a 4th base. It's well defended. He's pushing on Rhett's 4th, and Rhett is looking for an answer. He's looking for a flank, some type of engagement where he'll come out ahead. But I don't know if he can. He's down 20 supply right now with Terran maxed out, and he does only have 3 infestors. And you really need the fungals for Ultras to be good so you can hold the army in place, because otherwise the Terran army will just micro away. As we're beginning to see, the push is coming in, and the infestors are going to get focused by the tanks. Watch it.
Oh my god, yes, those infestors are trying
but the
to
big
make their way
fungals.
in. Oh, but the Ultras are actually going to come in. It looks like there is going to be a slight flank, and oh my god, the infestors not actually getting focused far down by the tanks. And I think that is a bit of a mistake. The Ultras taking so much of that damage, though. Oh my god, Rhett was actually able to clean that up.
That's game.
Wow, so Rhett actually somehow able to take that engagement with that really nice flanking position from the top right-hand side and also the bottom right-hand side. And with these ultras, he's going to be able to push up straight into the natural expansion. And there's actually going to be the GG coming out from LiquidSea. So, wow, just, I feel like that engagement, that last engagement just completely threw me for a loop.
Yeah, I really think that the Terran army was actually, it was pretty even at that point. It was almost a full ultraless composition, which normally isn't good, because the problem is when you have full ultras, the bio will just out micro you. It'll run away, shoot, and it'll slowly pick away your ultras who have trouble. They get stuck on each other and just stuff like that. But unfortunately for C, all the infestors entered range of his tanks, and he didn't focus. If he had cleaned up those first 3 infestors, he would not have got fungled. And what happened, because of the nice positioning by Ret, all of his ultralists got, you know, they were in position to attack, which usually the main problem with ultras that people complain about is the fact that they get clumped up on each other and don't start hitting. But with the nice spread Ret did, they were ready to attack. And once the fungal landed, it was done. It was too late for C, and he never focus fired the infestors. When you watch really strong, you know, this is something C might need to work on, or maybe he just wasn't paying attention for that moment. You need to kill off the infestors so that they can't fungal your bio. With a heavy Marauder force like that, you can take on ultras with just pure bio.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. Just not focus firing down those infestors allowed those really, really solid fungal growths stop your opponent from running away from those marauders. You don't get the opportunity to stim and run away and try and kite those ultralists and do all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I think I pretty much spelt a good game. So that's pretty much going to be that. So really well played by both these players, but LiquidRet taking the series 2-1 in, I guess, a friendly best of 3 show match on the same map every single time.
It was interesting seeing the guys play the same map, because you never see that in real tournaments, playing the same map over and over against the same opponent. And it was interesting to see how they felt like was the best way to play the map. As we saw, Ret thought the best way to play the map was get about only 3 base with 2 extra gases. He really never droned up his 4th. He just kind of got the extra gases on his 4th. And he wanted to get to ultras with heavy upgrades and use that to control the map. But then, as we saw C, he felt like taking the 4th that was closer to the Zerg 4th to use it as a staging area to push onto the Zerg 4th. And it was interesting to see that play out and how they wanted to get there each game, and just different ways of, you know, using small variations in their build to get there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, really going to be interesting to see as C starts to improve. I mean, again, coming back to those, like, just the focus firing down on those infestors, I feel like if you had been able to do that, that would have completely changed the way that the game would have been playing out. So, I mean, as C starts to get better, he'll start to learn how to do that a little bit more consistently, and we're going to see some really awesome stuff coming out of him, I think, in the future. But with that being said, that's going to be it. So thank you so much to everyone that decided to tune in, and hopefully you guys do enjoy this commentary, and of course you enjoy Alex's co-commentary with me, as he's a really good friend of mine. So please leave any kind of likes and feedbacks and all that kind of good stuff in the comments below, and also please feel free to subscribe to me if you do enjoy my commentary or Alex's commentary in capacity whatsoever, as I think that, you know, I really enjoyed commentating with Alex. Hopefully he enjoys the same.
Yeah, I do. I had a great time. I had never casted before tonight, so, you know, if you watch this and think I'm terrible, don't be too hard on me. But I had a great time casting. It's a lot of fun, and I hope to get a few more opportunities to cast with you in the future.
Yeah, definitely. Be on the lookout for that in the future. But with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, guys, and I will see you guys next time. Or I guess we will see you guys next time.